Welcome to the Illuminate Universe podcast, The Cast. Get it? The Cast? My name is Alina, and I'm the founder and CEO of Illuminate, where we mentor job seekers and help employers to fast track their business goals. I interview a celebrity cast of incredible individuals who have truly inspiring careers. We're talking about their work journey, the process of taking the leap to create a life and career they love, and what happens when they push aside their fears and doubts to unleash their fullest potential. Today, we speak with my friend Ericko Toni on the world of entrepreneurship, the real estate industry, and the world of property management. Ericko is the founder and CEO of Reside Management, a Vancouver-based residential property management company. From qualifying the right tenant to maintaining your investment is simply property management made easy by Reside. Hi, Ericko. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. Our first question for you is, we know that you specialize in property management. Can you tell us how you got into this field?
Thank you so much for having me, Alina. Well, it first started off, I was in a business school in marketing, and I worked for a creative agency, a real estate agency here in Vancouver. And back then, my mentor, which is my business partner now, brought me up to this opportunity because we were doing for developers such as Concord, West Bank, and all those other big developers for their rendering, their digital, their websites, social media, and whatnot. So he said a lot of buildings are coming up soon and they will need someone to manage their property. And he himself back then has a couple of properties that he needs someone to manage. And I was young. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm in college. Maybe I should just try this venture to work with him. I went into this field and I love it. Every day we do face different things, and we realize that if we stay at where we at and focus on what we do, we will be good in the industry. So that's what we've been doing for the last more than 5 years now. Yeah.
So everything started in university, it seems like.
I'm from a different country, right? I came here to study. It's a requirement for us for getting our PR to be a certain status. I had to work when I was in my third year, I believe. So third year, second year, I start working. So I worked my way up to the position that I want to be. So back then I started off business development.
So tell us more about Reside Management.
Reside Management is a residential property management company. We manage properties all the way Abbotsford to West Vancouver, so basically Lower Mainland. We help landlords and developers to manage and find tenants. Currently, we manage over 200 units in our portfolio, and we're still looking to grow more.
So how did we go from university to Reside Management?
So I used to work many different things. So I used to try, I don't know, car washing, used to try cleaning houses, used to try selling chilies, used to try blogging, used to try many different things. And what I found out through all the experiences, I was able to learn time management, able to learn how to handle stress, able to handle like what I like, what I don't like. Because when I was in college, I still remember I was so confused. People say follow your passion. My passion was basketball, and when basketball was done, my other passion was sleeping and just hanging out with friends. So I don't know what kind of job can give me that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should go out there and test many different jobs, the blue collar, the white collar, and see what I like. So I did so many different jobs. I fall in love with real estate. I remember the first time I played Monopoly, and I'm like, wow, this is really fun, and I want to learn more about it. That's how it picked me to get into, even hired by back then the company's called BAM Communications, to learn more about real estate. And then that's when property management opportunity opened. So I just focus on one industry that I really love.
What is it about real estate that make you love it?
In real estate, I saw my uncles and my aunties, they built their wealth through there. And then I saw my friends' family as well. And then I saw that there's a certain type of lifestyle that I like about it. And not only that, I just like the mindset of building something. You basically create, you buy something, you build it, and then it affect the community. And the community also benefit from it. And what I found out that a lot of rich people, they at least have real estate in their portfolio. And there's also a good way for me to connect with successful individuals or generational wealth, and then for me to better understand how can I help them out. Because my main dream was, if it's ever come true, if I could create cleaning water for Indonesia, if I can do that, I could die tomorrow. So that is something that I think real estate could help me to get there. Because of real estate now, it also helped me to open doors for other businesses that I never thought is possible. And
Wow, this is very inspirational. You're making me want to get my real estate license that expired last month.
I guess it really depends on the individual itself. Doesn't mean that every individual would like real estate. I know that people who go into real estate, they don't like it, they move to other industries. So I think what I learned from is, they say follow a passion. Passion start with curiosity, right? Curiosity sparks that you want to learn more, you want to go deeper, you want to be good at it, and you want to be best at it. That's when you find passion. It takes time. If you're still confused, just try many different things. See what you like and what you don't like.
Okay, so this leads me to my next question. What does a day in the life of Ericko look like?
That's a good question. Do you want me to do my personal or just work stuff?
Tell us about it all. We want to hear it all.
Most of the time, I used to wake up at 6 to 5 a.m. First few things I would do is do my morning routine, read my Bible, and then I will weigh myself to see if I lose some weight. And then I will do some walk and then get some teas, drink some tea, and then go straight emails, phone messages, whatever I can finish up as much as possible. Usually I will finish it around 12, 11, but sometimes in between, I might get phone calls from my team or my shareholders or customers. So I'll try to pick it up or I'll try to push them to later date. After 1 p.m., that's where I like to do all my meetings usually. But some urgent meetings I couldn't. And then I'll do meetings back to back, back to back, back to back. So every meeting is usually 30 to 15 minutes, sometimes an hour. I'll work until maybe 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then go home and then freshen up, eat, and then read some books and then go sleep. And next day, do it again.
Can you share with us what these meetings entail? I want to give our audience a good idea of what CEOs meet about in property management.
We have different departments. So every week or every month or every bi-weekly, I have to check in on every department. As a role as a CEO, my job is to make sure everybody are happy in their role, make sure they see growth, make sure that we can improve the efficiency, work with them and find ways of the difficulty, right? And how to support them. And I definitely spend a lot of time learning about them because everybody's different, the way how they learn, the way how they do things. So I have to make sure that the style, what they're trying to create, fits into whatever the company is. And it has to be interconnected with all the other departments. So it's a never ending process, it's an ongoing process. And then, of course, as a CEO, also, especially my business is like small to mid size, and you still have to do a lot of sales as well. So I go out there and meet people for sales, connect with people, networking. I also spend time talking to vendors, how to better improve ways how we can work together. I talk to the handyman vendors, the contractors, or the other people that could help the business to grow more or better serve our clients. But in the end, as a CEO, you always want to think how you can better serve your clients, how you can better serve your employees, and how you can better serve your shareholders. And you're more like a Jesus. You just serve everybody.
There we go. You're always so giving. And what you described here sounds like servant leadership to me, which is one of the most incredible leadership styles that I look up to. I find that phenomenal. And that's also something I'm going to practice as well. My next question for you is, what are some essential skills or characteristics that you'll say are important for a successful property management professional to hold?
Time management, organization, dealing with stress, self-esteem, and everything like that. Communications, not only communication to your client, to the tenant, to the strata, to the developers, to your team, and integrity, right? Because sometimes your integrity might be questioned by many different sides. Because as a property manager, you have to deal with tenants, landlords, and sometimes strata as well. And they all will have different opinions, and you have to judge what is considered as the best option. And not every option is black and white. Sometimes it's gray. So you have to make the best decision ever.
This is incredible. I would imagine you have to really negotiate at times and also consider both sides, keep your emotions at peace, and be very logical and make sure everyone's happy. That sounds like a very hard job.
Well, that sounds like a CEO job, right? Some department might not work well with each other. You also have to be the one solving it, right? So property management is funny. It's kind of like customer service. It's more like you really help people to connect and solve issues.
What I do admire about what you said is the amount of time that you spend on communication with people, helping people. I think oftentimes when we're so busy, we overlook people. We're talking about process. Can this process be repeated? And the human aspect gets left out. So to me, it sounds like you're not only a CEO, but you're also a chief talent officer. So tell us more about your strategies to retaining and motivating talent, especially given in this interesting time that we're in?
I look at the company values. When I interview people, I always look at do they resemble the company values. And when I do interview, I do three stages. So one is with me first. The second with why the people who either they're going to replace or like my managing broker. And third will be the whole team. And I'll never hire anyone if my whole team doesn't like it. And it's because when you are with a team, it's more like a family. You go ups and downs. And tough time is where relationship creates, right? Tough time is where you create memories, and that's where you achieve together as a team. I want to see their motivation as well, because if their motivation or their communication style is different than us, it's not a good fit.
Absolutely. Communication style is so important, and being able to adapt to the values that the company has and also this individual's personal values. So, this leads me to my next question. What tips do you have for an individual to become more adaptable? And why is this important?
Be like a sponge, keep learning, stay humble, ask questions. Every time an individual asks questions, we know where they're at, especially if you are higher stage than them, you know what they're thinking, how they're feeling, everything. But always ask questions, don't be afraid. Sometimes you might think that your question is stupid. If you really think so, go Google first. If you can't find us in Google, then go meet them, us in person. But don't be afraid. I think a lot of people out there, they're afraid to ask certain things or they're afraid to do things because you look bad on them, hurt your self-esteem or they look stupid. No, don't worry about that. If you don't ask, you will never know, right? And you never know, you never grow. So you always want to keep growing by surrounding yourself with people that you who you want to be, and ask the right question and follow them, observe them. So yeah, I think that'll be the biggest thing, be humble and ask questions and keep growing.
Humility is very contagious. Whenever I'm around you, I also become more humble. That's what I notice about myself. So thank you for letting me being in your presence. I love that. Okay, so Ericko, last question for you. Now we just sort of gone through the pandemic. I don't know if we're completely out of it yet. Well, given the times that we're in, very interesting times, what is one piece of advice you would offer to someone currently striving to attain their dream job in property management?
First of all, get your license. You can go to UBC, get your license, property management license. And don't be afraid to be someone assistant. You might not get the best pay, but you learn so much and you can see whether you actually want to do it. Because some people might think that, oh, what he's doing is cool on the outside, but wait till you see the inside, right? And see whether that works for you. Because sometimes what you're good at doesn't mean that you like it. Or sometimes that what you are not good at and you like it and you're willing to learn from it, that's okay, right? In the end, you have to see what makes you happy. I think a lot of time, if people go out there and find jobs just for money, it will be hard for them to be happy. But if you go out there and find job and bring it to your lifestyle, this is what kind of lifestyle I want to be and what kind of happiness I want to see, then you will have a different perspective, different way how you do things. I think that's very key in terms of if you want to be a good property manager, is their mindset has to be right and their heart has to be right in the first place. Because if you go out for the money, I can tell you it's different. You will not succeed in whatever field you want to be, not only property management.
Thank you so much, Ericko, for sharing your wisdom today. It is such an honor to have you on this show.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, and I appreciate this time. Thank you.